Welcome to our yoga practice today. We're going to start on hands and knees and just shift back to a child's pose. So as you come to your hands and knees, bring your knees nice and wide, bring your big toes together, and then push back through your heels and soften your elbows here as you rest your forehead on the floor. We're going to take a nice long breath in and a complete breath out here. You can rest your head, you can turn your head to the side. Just letting your upper back open, stretch your arms long here. And you can just stretch from the right fingertips and then through your left fingertips. Feeling the side waist get nice and long here. We'll start to flow gently, bringing your shoulders right over your wrists, knees now underneath your hips. Go ahead and shift forward, down onto your belly. Press into your hands, lift your chest, breathe in. And then exhale, round into your spine, shifting back to child's pose. And let's do that with your breath. Nice big breath in, chest guides through on the mat. Lift up, open and stretch. And exhale, round into your spine, sit back. Let's do that 3 more times. Big breath in. Last time, breathe in the nose, sliding forward. Lift your chest. Exhale back to child's pose. And then come up and go into downward dog. Hips up nice and high. Tailbone reaching up. And I want you to just press one heel down, then the other. Pressing your chest towards the legs. Belly button pulls in. We're going to walk our hands to the back of the mat into your forward fold. Breathe out here. Let the head hang. And then just interlace your fingers onto the back of the head. Just for weight, but I don't want you to pull on your neck here. So just kind of turn the head side to side. Just added weight, but no pressure onto your neck. This is just going to help you just add a little stretch to your upper back. But also make sure you're not holding up the head. Let the arms dangle and then roll up slowly. Take arms overhead, breathe in. Exhaling, forward fold, hips back, and we just fold right down. Walk out to a plank. Exhale, you bring your knees down and then lower through your chest. Again, lift your chest, stretch your toes back, feel the back body, and then lift your hips high, downward dog. Inhale, walk your hands back to the feet. Little bend in the knees. We're going to grow all the way up to the top. Back bend. Exhale, hands right through and forward fold with me. Inhale, walk your hands out. Maybe you leave your knees off the ground, but if you're feeling like a gentle practice today, go ahead and lower them. Elbows in, nice and close. Feeling the front body stretch. Exhale, back. Through bent knees, tuck your toes, downward dog. Now from here, I want you to reach with your left hand for your right leg. And just twist towards the underarm, kind of looking under your underarm. If you can reach to your ankle, that's a big stretch. Maybe you'll just reach to your knee or your leg and just feel how that hand that's supporting you, the one on the mat, that arm is plugging into your torso here. We're going to switch. Just take the arm over. Turn and look underneath your arm. And if you're not taking your hand to your leg, that's totally fine. You can also just be on your knees here and just kind of reach under and get a little twisty stretch just like this. Nice and easy. You do what's best for you today. Press your chest towards the legs, coming back into your downward dog, or maybe you're in child's pose here. And then walk your hands to your feet, again, back of the mat, forward fold. A little bit in the knees, let's rise.
And exhaling again, forward fold. Now let's walk our hands out. We're gonna take your left leg forward, lower your bottom knee, and then lift up through the arm, twisting towards the leg. Exhale, bring the hand down. And then again, big breath in, reach up. Exhale, hand down. Feel your body lowering inside your leg here. And then shift back to your downward dog. Hips high. Maybe just pedal the feet a little bit. And then now we're gonna bring our right leg forward, back knee down, and then a few times. Just take the arm up, big breath in, reach, exhale, bring the hand down inside your leg here. Twisting from below your belly button, getting a good range of motion. Let's use the breath, big reach, big breath in, exhale down. Now walk your hands over to the side. You're gonna come to a straddle stretch and forward fold. Making sure your toes are facing directly towards me. Outsides of your feet are pressing down. And then bend those knees and roll up slowly. Your feet are nice and wide. I'm gonna have you turn your toes to the right. Right toes turn, and then bend into the knee. We come into a warrior two here. So your shoulders are right over your hips. So make sure that you're not kind of shifted like this. I want you to make sure, just kind of check in with yourself. Shoulders over hips. So from here up, it looks like you're just standing normally. I kind of call this like the newsroom. So you can't tell what's happening below the desk. Your legs, your knee is pressed out. You've got a nice wide open hip here, and then arms out long. And we're gonna take our arms overhead. I want you to hold on to your right wrist and then arch to the side. Breathe into your right ribs here. And now reach long, front leg straightens. We're gonna come into a triangle pose. Hand to the leg, top arm lifts. Let's wrap the arm behind you. Maybe you can let the hand come inside the leg there, or just bring the hand behind you, lengthening. Feel that good stretch right over the large muscles. Both legs are pressing down, and I want you to feel that kneecap lift here. Feel the whole leg really strong. And then look wherever feels good to your neck. You can look down, you can look up, but there's no have to. What you do want to do is bring your back towards the wall behind you. So no kind of sinking inside the leg. Just lean back, create a nice long line in your spine, and a good stretch over the top of your hip. Let's come back up to your warrior two, bending into the knee, arms long. And now again, hold on to that right wrist, arch to the side. Let's let the bottom hand come down, and then turn your heart to the sky. Big breath in. Windmill our hands all the way down, frame the foot, step back to downward dog. Inhale, come forward, do your plank. Exhale, knees lower, chest lowers, toes stretch back, and we lift. Let's go back to downward dog. Long spine, press your heels towards the mat. And a little bend in your knees. Go ahead and step forward with your foot so you can come to the straddle stretch facing me again. And fold. Bend the knees and come up slowly. Let's do your standing poses on the other side. So your toes turn to your left. And then we bend into the knee. And then just make sure your shoulders are over hips. You don't have to be as low as I am here. I just want you to make sure you're pressing the knee towards that wall behind you, towards the pinky toe. Don't let it fall inward here. I want the knee to guide right over that middle toe, and then arms are long. You'll hold on to your left wrist and then arch to the side. We're creating space from this hip right up through your shoulder, creating strength in the legs. And then arms are long, straighten the leg, and then come into your triangle pose. Reach, reach, reach. Take the hand behind you. Just feel how that nicely stretches in front of your shoulder. and across your chest, excuse me. It does stretch the hip. This is one of my recent favorite poses right now. So I kind of go through phases where I have a favorite. I like this one because your legs are long and strong. Your core is strong here. And you got that good stretch over the top of the hip and the side waist. Let's come back up to Warrior Two. And again, hold on to the wrist, arch. Just C-shaping the spine here. And then the bottom arm's gonna come down. We're gonna rotate your chest up. Little back bend you might feel here. And then we'll mill your hands all the way down. Frame the foot, step back, downward dog. Good breath out of the mouth. Inhale, forward to your plank. Lower knees, chest and chin. Draw your shoulder blades down. I want you to got a long neck, so make sure your shoulders aren't up here. They are nice and long down here. Now let's stay up here and then look over your right shoulder. Then look over your left shoulder. Come on down to your belly. Let's strengthen your back body. Hands out to the side like airplane wings, palms face down. We're gonna flow up. Big breath in, lift arms, lift legs. Exhale, lower. So find some nice evenness here. I don't want you to struggle with the breath. Breathe in and lift. Think about lifting through those inner thighs. Breathe out and lower. One more time, we're gonna breathe in, lift. Breathe out. Now hands come down. We stretch back to child's pose. Lengthening the spine slowly, letting it neutralize. And then come up really slowly. You can tuck your toes here. We're gonna bring our hands to our back, press your hips forward, and lift up through your chest. Variation on camel pose. You're gonna feel a stretch in your hip flexors here, so lift up through your chest, keep squeezing your backside forward, and create space in the front body. If you wanna go a little deeper here, bring one hand down, and then the other arm up. Big, big stretch here. I feel it here in my left side, so the arm that's up, I feel it more on that side. Then I'm gonna bring my hand to my hip, come back up, and then go to the other side. Reach for your back foot, and then reach up. So I'm always thinking, lift up through the collarbones, and squeeze the glutes, feel the stretch. Let's bring the hands down, and we'll shift to a hero's pose, sitting up tall for a moment here. We're gonna take a side stretch, reach your back arm towards me, and then go to the other side. Your hand comes down, stretch away. Just to let our backs neutralize before we come into a fold. Go ahead and come into a child's pose. Arms out long. Let's rise up slowly. Step one foot forward so you can again face me. Nice wide straddle stretch. Let's practice a little balance with our standing poses. Little bend in your knees. You're going to come up and then turn your toes to your right. Now come into your triangle pose. Come up. Lift the top hand. Maybe bring your hand to your hip. I want you to put a little bend in this knee. We're going to step to this leg and then lift your back leg. Flexing the foot. And if you can, maybe take your top arm up. So notice how you've got space from your hand on the ground to your foot. There is space there. And then we're going to soften that standing leg, come back up into Warrior Two. How fun was that? Draw your shoulders down your back. Take your arm overhead, hold on to your right wrist, and stretch. Let's do that on the other side. Turn your toes to the other side. Triangle pose. Lengthen. So this is why it's important to make sure that you are balanced. Your shoulder is right over the hip. You're not in here. You're up here. We're going to put a little bend in the knee. Hand reaches in front of the foot. You can scoot that back leg as you need to, and then come up. Maybe your hand is on your hip as you're starting. You can also look at the floor here. If you look down to where your hand is, it might make it a little easier. And then when you're ready, soften that standing leg, step back to warrior two. And you're all by yourself right there, so if you stumble a little bit, just be kind to yourself and come right back in with me, warrior two. Hold on to your left wrist and arch. Breathe out. Let's come up. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn all your toes out. And let's find some strength in the legs. Press the knees out. Take the arms overhead. Let's side stretch. Breathing into the side ribs. Breathe out and go to the other side. Just take your time. Breathe in and out. Let's come out of the legs. Turn your toes towards my direction and then forward fold. Hands down. Breathe just in case you're holding the breath. We'll walk our hands over to the right. Press your left hip away. And then walk your hands over to the left, pressing your right hip away. Now let's go ahead and walk your hands all the way to the right. Bend into your right leg. Come on down to a seat. And we can sit with both legs bent here. We're going to support ourselves with your right hand behind you. Reach for your left ankle and just draw it towards your backside, stretching into your hip flexor and your quad here. If you've got more space, move the knee away and then turn towards your leg. Take your time, just finding your perfect stretch there. And then come right back. Let's bring this back leg forward. It can cross in front of your other leg, or it can stack on top in like a fire log pose or a double pigeon, whatever works for you. Sit up tall, and we're just gonna fold forward, stretching gently into your hips. Only come this far. If it feels good, if it would feel better to come further, this is your practice, so just take your time, going as far as feels good. I'm going to take long breaths in and out. And then come up slowly. And then just take your left leg to the side, your right foot behind you, sit up tall, and then just bring that foot a little closer, stretching into the top of the leg. Maybe take the leg away and then turn, stretching into the top of the thigh. You want to stretch those large muscles we were just using in your standing pose. And then release when you're ready. We'll bring that foot in front, your right leg either in front in a cross-legged position, or you can stack the legs on top. Whatever works for you, there's no right way. The key is to feel the stretch outside of this leg. So just come forward as you're ready. Tuck your chin in. And just settle, letting the weight of your body increase the stretch for you there. Big breath into the back body. Long breath out. Slowly. Let's take your right leg long, left foot inside, and then walk your heart towards your toes. Come up slowly. Let's switch our legs. Left leg long, sit up tall, and and then heart towards your toes. Just go slowly, feeling that space create in your low back here. Big breath into the back body. Long breath out. Feel free to hold any of these stretches just a little bit longer. Just sit and cross the ankles, sit up nice and tall, draw your shoulders back. Feel the length of your spine here, feel the front body expand. And then breathe out of the mouth, relaxing your face. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Just feel free to close the eyes here. And bring your left ear towards your left shoulder here. Top of the head lifts. We'll twist to the right, turning towards your right side, drawing your right shoulder back. And we're going to twist to the other side. Yourself back to center. Thank you so much for moving in all the ways with me, forward and back bending and forward folding, twisting and side stretching. Feel free to go through all of this video again, or just take a moment to pause in some of them and take a little bit longer time and a few more breaths. I love that you are spending time on your mat, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Let me know if you have any questions or you have any requests. Bye-bye.